repeat paper ID 279, Sanjeev Kumar Nayak. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You may share your screen and you may proceed.
Screen sharing option. Sir, is the screen is coming?
No.
No.
Sir, is it coming now?
Yes.
Good afternoon, all. Myself, Sanjeev Kumar Nayak, a PhD scholar from BSSUT Burla, Odisha. I will be talking on our work based upon renewable energy-based task consolidation algorithm for cloud computing. And our contribution in this work is earlier there are algorithms available for scheduling the task on the cloud data centers based upon renewable energy, but none other of the available literature, and they worked upon the task consolidation. And basically, task consolidation refers to assigning the task to data centers in order to maximize the resource utilization and the user request utilization. So this is the outline. And the motivation of our work is basically due to the recent advances in cloud computing. In 2020, it is supposed to make 266 billion of business, which is 17% more than the last year. And currently, it employs 8.6 million data centers worldwide, from which 3 million are in the US. And these data centers consist of 50,000 to 80,000 servers, and they consume around 25 to 30 megawatt of energy. And for these cloud computing service, uh, we need different cloud service providers, and these cloud service providers make use of non-renewable and renewable energy sources. Non-renewable energy sources basically supplied by fossil fuels, but these are harmful due to the emission of carbon dioxide, particles, and heat to the environment. And therefore, we now preferably going towards renewable energy sources, biomass, hydropower, solar, and wind. Uh, as per the literature studied, so no system is currently available like claimed by Google, like we are 100% renewable energy powered. But as such, it is not true, because renewable energy sources are not available round the clock, 24 by 7, 365 days. So some backup of non-renewable energy sources is there. So we need to take into account for both non-renewable energy and renewable energy sources. So this is a particular scenario of a cloud computing environment where you have different data centers supported with energy from the non-renewable energy sources like grids, and renewable energy sources like solar and wind power. And they also consist of different cloud service providers and end users like customers like us. So basically, more importantly, Tosi and Buya, they proposed a load balancing algorithm which basically dealt with the efficient utilization of the CPUs in the cloud data centers. And while Su studied that the CPU utilization for achieving a particular efficiency, we need to maintain the efficiency or CPU utilization threshold between 70 to 100%. In our approach, we have tabbed the CPU utilization from the non-renewable energy sources at 70%. By following this approach, then Pearson said that a negotiation process can be achieved between the data center and the cloud service provider in order to scheduling the tasks. And Ponda also discussed that we can combine the task consolidation and task scheduling approach effectively to improve the CPU utilization. So in our proposed algorithm, we have formulated this problem, which consists of a set of user requests and data centers. A user request consists of basically four tuples, like the resources or the nodes, which consist of different means energy slots. Energy slots are of two types: green or brown. Green energy slots represent renewable energy slot, and brown energy slots represent non-renewable energy slot. And as for our problem, we have to assign the incoming user request or the incoming tasks to the data centers, so that we need to minimize the total energy consumption and overall cost, and we need to maximize the total number of renewable energy used. And our approach makes use of means two phases, like mapping and assigning. In mapping phase, the incoming user request or the task is mapped to the data centers based upon their total utilization. And in the assigning phase or in the assignment phase, the user request is assigned to the data center which has minimum total utilization. So we can consider this matrix as the scenario of two-phase approach. So the first row represents the user request. We have taken, for example, 10 incoming user request or the task. It consists of four tuples: start time, duration, nodes, and utilization. Start time, and we need to remember that the incoming user requests are arranged in the order of increasing increasing order of the start times. And the start time refers to the arrival of the task at the data center. Duration refers to how much time chunks it will take to execute. The nodes refers to how many CPU cores or CPU nodes or CPUs it will take to execute. And the utilization, average utilization, we have taken randomly for each of the different tasks. And the last row represents in our scenario. We have assumed that two different data centers are there, D1 and D2, and the following are the example of the utilization of the different data centers. So likewise, we can see at the below, we can see that the time instance has been divided into from 1 to 9, and at the upper layer we can see that some weights are there. So these weights are being assigned for the usage of non-renewable energy. And we have fixed, it means that we have variable cost for non-renewable energy, and we have fixed cost for the renewable energy. So the boxes which are darkened, they represent the renewable energy slots, which are unit cost. And the non-colored boxes are represent the brown energy. They means they mean the non-renewable energy, and they will cost us more. And for our approach, we have taken that if the utilization is within 70%, then we can assign a task to a particular data center. If it exceeds 70%, then we have to assign to the another one. If it is if it is renewable energy power data center, then we can go up to 100% efficiency or 100% utilization. And also, if the cost or if the utilization or the assignment or the task which is being assigned to the data center, its utilization is below 70%, then the cost which we have assumed above, it is being used. If it exceeds the 70%, the non-renewable energy usage or utilization exceeds 70% for a particular data center, then we have to take double of the cost. It means that we need to encourage the data center to make use of the renewable energy more. It is because if you are using the uh, non renewable energy sources for more utilization, we need to apply more cost. So as you can see, for a particular data center for user request one, so we have to assign it to any of the data center. For user request one, we can see that the utilization for D1 and D2 it is 0, because when you are in the first task and it has not been allotted to any of the data center. So we have randomly assigned it to data center one. So as you can see, the duration is 4. So it is being assigned to 4 of the CPUs in the data center, and it takes 3 nodes. So 3 CPU cores have been assigned, and for each core it makes a utilization of 35%. So it is being assigned. So now next user request is uh, U2. So U2, but we need to check that U2 start time is
Mr.
also at 1.
Sanjeev,
So
Sanjeev, quickly finish your presentation.
okay, sir. So so for task U2, when it arrives at time instant 1, it sees that the overall utilization of data center 1 is 105, because at time instant 1 first column of data center D1 we can add up the utilization, it comes to 105, and for first column of data center D2 it is empty, so the utilization is 0. So by this the total utilization, task utilization can be made for task consolidation, so that the total energy consumed can be minimized and overall cost can be minimized. So now we can see our results. So we have taken 4 data sets, one of size 200 into 10, and then next is 400 into 20, next is 630 and 800 into 40 matrices, and the first one represents the user request and second one is data centers. And we have compared our proposed algorithm with round robin and random approach. So we can see that the minimum utilization algorithm outperforms the existing ones based upon the total energy consumption by the data center and the overall cost of the data center. So now we can see that our algorithm has a time complexity of the order of KNMPO, where where you can see that the P represents number of resources, M represents total number of DCs available, and N represents total number of DCs used, and K is the total number of iteration of our algorithm. And what we need to investigate more is that we have capped the threshold utilization of non-renewable energy at 70%, and correspondingly we have calculated the overall cost. So in our future work we need to further investigate this threshold value up to 100%. So these are our selected references from our work. So thank you, sir.
Thank you for presenting the paper. As you mentioned that you have to investigate this threshold. That is my observation also. I think you should also investigate priority basis of utilizer, that user.
Okay, sir.
That priority you have selected randomly. I think the priority should be given some weightage. Please investigate in that. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
I invite if anyone want to ask in question.
No, sir.
Thank you.